Well, it's a very warm welcome to BT Connor Reserve on this Wednesday evening for what is shaping up to be a huge clash between top of the table Preston Lions and defending champions South Melbourne. To add an extra layer of intrigue to this evening's match, 3 debutants for Preston, and they are 3 huge inclusions. Matilda's Emma Checker and Jamila Rankin starting for Preston this evening. They're joined by Japanese signing Mebe Tanaka, who was last seen playing for Keilor Park in the VPL. I'll take you through both sides now, how they line up this evening. So for Preston, in number order, number 1, their goalkeeper, Charlotte Frey-Horrison. Number 2, Jade Feeks. Number 6, El Talevsky. Number 8, Miri Nishimura. Number 14, Mebe Tanaka. Number 15, Emma Checker. Number 17, Ellie Lamont. Number 22, Eva Harrington. Number 25, Jamila Rankin. Number 24, Hayley Johnson. Number 50, Georgia Henderson. That leaves on the bench for Preston, number 9, Molly May Ramsey. Number 11, Ellie Vlaming. Number 16, Lani Jadice. Number 31, Sasha Liparidis. Number 41, Amy Adcock. And number 55, Dakota Tyson for South Melbourne. This afternoon, they line up as follows. Number 1, their goalkeeper, Christina Esposito. Number 4, Danielle Mikalev, otherwise known, or formerly known as Danielle Wise. Number 5, Sophie Papasanis. Number 7, Franny Iumano. Number 8, Bella Sewards. Number 9, Taylor Christensen. Number 11, Kiara Hronopoulos. Number 14, Misha Westland. Number 17, Dragana Klajic. Number 20, Grace Rapp. And number 22, Grace Taranto. On the bench for South Melbourne today is number 2, Asia Claridge. Number 10, Georgia Candilis. Number 15, Annalise Bader. Number 23, Madison Kapelitsa. Number 32, Emma Olsen. And number 43, Jessica Sheehan. So that is how these two sides line up. So say a huge matchup between two historic sides. Preston Lions have never beaten South Melbourne in a competitive fixture in the 25 years of their women's program. They are undefeated in the NPL this season, and they are hoping to secure their first victory against historic rivals this evening. A quick look at the watch from the referee. It's a typically chilly evening in Melbourne. It was a clear day, but gorgeous football watching and playing weather. We are underway. It's Preston Lions who get us kicked off. They're in their red and black kit. South Melbourne in the whites as Klajic putting on pressure early. The goal scorer from last week, of course. They're coming off a 1-0 win against Buranzara. Preston coming off a big 8-0 win against Calder. Here's Jamila Rankin, her first look on the ball, attempting to play in Nishimura. Rankin, a one-time Matilda, capped back in 2022, most recently playing with Melbourne Victory in the A-League Women's. As that ball is swept up by South Melbourne's keeper, Esposito. Early days, it looks like Preston might be lining up in a back 3 to allow for Jamila Rankin to bomb up that left-hand side. South Melbourne, though, are the team advancing forward. Westland playing it to Mikalev, but her ball went astray and safely into the gloves of Frey-Horrison. Only 17 years of age, Frey-Horrison, formerly of FV Emerging, actually signed for Melbourne City back in 2022-23 as an injury replacement, so a very highly rated youngster. Harrington with the throw. headed on, but unable to hit the target. A pass almost going astray from Tulevski, who looks like she is lining up, as her shirt would suggest, in the number 6 defensive midfield role this evening. Iamano. Strong work from Iamano. It was one of those debutants, Tanaka, who tried to get back and do the defensive hard yards. Just gave away a foul in the process. Tanaka, while a new signing, apparently in training, got 4 assists during a training game, so picked herself in this side more or less. Very difficult to keep out in that sort of form. Good way to introduce yourself to new teammates. And there's a diagonal ball looking forward for Lamont. Couldn't find her. Now South Melbourne trying to counter, can't do so. There's another first time ball that comes out to Harrington. His ball over the top again for Lamont. Lamont trying to chase that down, but it was good work in the end at the back. Nishimura can't pierce the South Melbourne defence. Page was forced to play back, and Iamano trying to play her in. She made the overlapping run, couldn't do so. That combination on the left-hand side for South Melbourne will be a point of intrigue this evening. Two very experienced players that have played at a high level. Speaking of experienced players, that was Emma Checker who played the ball to Nishimura. Checker's second season at Preston, of course, having just announced her retirement from the A-League Women's. Here comes Harrington. He was driving into space, couldn't hit that final pass. So it's back with Clage. Nice work from Christensen to play it into Mikulev. Well defended though by Rankin. Was just in the right place to cut out that pass. And now it'll go all the way through to Ray Horrison. Tanaka up against Iamano. That's already looking like a battle to watch. Iamano had her hands full last week. And now again, looks like she's got herself another tricky winger to deal with in the form of Tanaka. Mikulev is dropping deep. Iamano. Switch of play from Rapp, although intercepted by Tanaka, who's off and away if she can get there. Maybe Tanaka cutting inside, crossing on her left. It's dealt with well. Lost a shin pad in the process as well there, Tanaka. Although she'll intercept the pass out. Opportunity still on here for Preston. Played forward, little tink back inside. South not able to hit on the counter. It was Hayley Johnson who who's looking to hit that gap created in behind. Already scored 7 goals this season, the American, in 6 NPL games. She's looking for more tonight. He's actually scored in every game but one so far, which has definitely been a big factor in Preston's success as Tanaka gets her shin pad back. Harrington, ball played forward. Nice little ball over the top by Henderson. South really struggling to clear their lines at the moment. It was Johnson who got on the ball instead and has won Preston the first corner of this evening. Well, we've seen one attacking foray on the left from Rankin. Now we'll see that left boot deliver an in-swinging set piece. A Preston header got to it. It's cleared away just about, only to the edge of the area. It was Emma Checker who hit that on the half volley. Not enough power really to challenge Esposito too much. But the big guns combining early for Preston. Ishimura looking to deliver a ball in. It's dealt with well by Taranto. But again, it's Emma Checker at the back who's able to calmly deal with it. One of the strengths of South Melbourne last week in their win over Burunzara was their midfield. Grace Rapp and Misha Westland. We haven't seen too much of them just yet. Keeping in mind it is early days, but they haven't been able to see much of the ball, and when they have, Preston have been all over them. And that's why the home side are just in the ascendancy at the moment. That ball evades everyone, comes out to Clage. His attempt to play it through, well, found the feet of Christensen, who wasn't able to control. Tanaka does well to come away with it. Finding Johnson again, who's ball in. Ellie Lamont is there. She's got a defender to beat. Lamont unleashes on the right and opens the scoring for Preston. It has been coming for the home side. Constant pressure has been building, and it's Lamont who puts the ball away. Well, the 4th goal of the season for the former Perth Glory star. She made a name for herself over in Western Australia, played for Launceston down in Tassie as well, and now 4 goals in 7 games this season for Preston. The pressure had been building, and it was again a high interception that led to the ball to Lamont, who was able to put it away into the back of the net. A good finish. And much to the delight of the home fans, it is Preston that have the lead. Free kick taken short. Shimura to the feet of Tanaka, and now back to Talevski. Will deliver a long searching ball. Dealt with well by Taranto. Harrington. Good work by Imano, who will look to spring in transition. Good switch of play out wide to Sewards. Bella Sewards beats Rankin. Still going here, Bella Sewards. Will play the ball into McAuliffe, who is unable to get the ball underneath her feet and take the shot on goal. Ray Horrison did well. Iamano charging down that left-hand side. She's got Christensen in support. Christensen cuts inside, delivers the cross on her right. It's gone all the way through and beats everybody. Well, there was a player lurking at the back post. Wasn't able to get the touch. I believe it was Bella Sewards, who was only inches away from tucking that in at the back post. So South Melbourne, with their first corner of the night, they opt to take it short. Bella Sewards delivers on her left, but high and wide of the frame of goal. So an opportunity to equalise goes begging for South. One back by South. Rapp trying to play that ball through to Christensen. It's dealt with well by Checker. And now they're away again. Lamont, the goal scorer, looking to deliver a ball in. It's cut out well, though. I believe that's Asia Claridge. Tanaka shoots from distance. Well, it can skid on at this time of night, but dealt with well by Esposito. Well, there's a bit of afters here. A foul from Talevsky on Mikulev. Looks like Mikulev just had something to say while she was on the floor that Talevsky took issue with. It's all calm now, though. Maybe a flashpoint to watch as this game goes on. Well, a slight point of order. I believe that I listed Asia Claridge as starting on the bench for South Melbourne there, number 2, but I can see her with my very own eyes at right back, so I'll have a look and see for you who she has started in place of that I had on my list. There's Checker drawing the foul as she takes the ball up from defence. Tanaka plays the ball out wide. Diagonal into the mix of ball played back to Tanaka, who does get there but can't turn and shoot. Rankin will play it back in the middle. It'll come all the way back out, in fact. Now delivered low, but dealt with by the South defence, and an opportunity to counter. Misha Westland looking for options. Rankin gets back, and as does the rest of her Preston teammates, to put a stop to any danger from that transition. Taranto. Long searching diagonal, finds a teammate, but Rankin seizes her opportunity to win the ball back. Taranto. Sewards. Christensen now in some space. She's got Iamano making the overlapping run. She'll go inside herself, Christensen, and that ball I was looking for Westland will instead go all the way through to Ray Horrison in goals. Pressure being applied here by Christensen. Dealt with though by Ray Horrison. Talevsky doing well to prevent Clage from getting on the ball. And now Christensen again looking to turn away from Tanaka. She'll shoot from distance. A tricky one in the air for the 17-year-old keeper, but she reads it well. Hayley Johnson thought that she'd won the ball back in the centre of the park, only to be called back for a handball. Christensen. Her ball finds Iamano, so it'll be Preston with the throw. Just confirming, from what I can see, it's Kiara Hernopoulos who was on the team sheet for South who hasn't started, and it's Asia Claridge who's lining up at right back instead. I'm not sure what the reason was for that late change, but just confirmation that that starting lineup that I gave you at the beginning of the game does have that change. Here's Tanaka. Went to ground, and eventually the foul has gone against Tanaka for a handball as she was falling. It was Iamano with a little bit of help from Sophie Papatsanis that time. Here is Papatsanis on the ball. Iamano. Back to Papatsanis, who looked to play that through, but it's cut out well by Nishimura. Johnson. Looks for the long ball up top, and well, Lamont thought for a moment she was in for an opportunity for her second, but denied by the offside flag. Nishimura. Overlapping run of Rankin. Jamila Rankin looking to whip in across on her left, and does so. It had to be cut out because Johnson was lurking. And we've already seen a few times some Forays forward from Rankin. Now that's a lovely ball. Looking for the path of Klejc. Almost seeing that combination the second week in a row. Grace Rapp to Klejc, but just a little bit beyond her on this occasion. Well, as we approach half-time of the first half, it is Preston Lions who are currently leading 1-0 thanks to the work of Ellie Lamont, her 4th goal of the season. South Melbourne, though, doing all they can to get back into it. Christensen applying the pressure on Harrington, but Harrington did well to keep the ball. Her ball up the line, giving it away, though, for a South Melbourne throw. Emma Checker. Her pass intercepted by Sewards, who's away here. Bella Sewards will square it to Mikulev, who shoots from outside the area. Shot blocked well by Jade Feeks. Well, Mikulev, she knows how to find the back of the net. No goals so far this season. But back in 2022, she was the Golden Boot winner. 16 goals that season, the former Heidelberg player. Just hasn't quite come off for her so far yet in the NPL this season, but you know the goals aren't too far away as there's a foul out on that far side going the way of Preston. Jade Feeks will play it to her centre-back partner, Checker. Happy to shift South Melbourne back and forth. Klejc trying to apply the pressure on Ray Horrison. And Preston come away with the throw. Tanaka winning that. Now Johnson trying to play a ball back to Henderson. Couldn't find her, so now that throw straight up the line, searching for the feet of Tanaka. They're just inching forward here in throw-ins. Preston. Tulevski will retrieve. Back to Checker. Played all the way back to Ray Horrison. Feeks is there and is the option that Ray Horrison chooses. And now it's Preston in some space. Tanaka. Great work by Umano. Smart use of the body. The former Melbourne Victory and Western United player. Johnson. Hayley Johnson still with the ball in the area. Manages to whip in across. It's punched away by Esposito. Good goalkeeping by South Custodian between the sticks. It had to be. It was great work by Johnson to find her feet and get the ball in. Opportunity still on here. Wonderful ball slipped in behind for Tanaka, who shoots and hits the side netting. A golden chance to double the home side's lead. It was a beautiful ball played through. Tanaka with the smarts and wherewithal to get him behind. Just couldn't apply the finishing touch. Rankin gets back and retrieves. Plays it to Talevsky, who plays it back to Checker. Harrington, back to Feeks. Clayic seems to be the player designated to put pressure on the Preston defence from the South Melbourne perspective. Mikulev also getting involved, but Nishimura a good touch, and she'll look to switch play. No pass though, getting away from Harrington. Taranto. Long diagonal finds Christensen. Appeals for offside, not given. Taylor Christensen cutting inside, but the teammate she was searching for not there. South will retain possession though. Imano's smart work. Clayish looking for that ball in behind. Ray Horrison does well in goals once more. Johnson heading it on now for Henderson. Georgia Henderson cutting inside. She'll play it back to Hayley Johnson, who goes to ground. Appeals for a foul not given. Preston still with it though. And that ball just showing that Henderson and Harrington were maybe not quite on the same wavelength that time. And that's the danger of Hayley Johnson, the centre forward up top. She can really create chaos up there, of course, is a deadly finisher of her own. Now space opening up for South. Clayish. That's smartly dealt with by Rankin. You can just see that level above from Jamila Rankin in the way that she's able to read the play really cleverly. Now, here come Preston again. Johnson on the edge of the area. Yamano dealt with it well. Well, Johnson will claim that she won the ball with that tackle. It was a sliding challenge coming in behind. The referee saw it differently and awarded the foul. Diamano did manage to get the wrong side of Johnson. And that's probably why the referee chose to award the foul. Talevsky, Nishimura. Being pressured by two players, but manages to get it back to Checker. Of course, Rankin has big shoes to fill this season. She's dispossessed there, though. The opportunity, though, again for South. They're just not able to be quick enough in those transitional moments. It was Sewards who won the ball back. And then they just weren't able to find a teammate on time. They will have a free kick here, though. Will they take it quickly? They'll be forced to wait by the referee. So a set piece now for South Melbourne. It's Grace Rapp, the Englishwoman, standing over the free kick. She delivers. Nishimura is the first player there able to clear. They'll have another opportunity, though. South delivering again is Rapp. Headed on is Taranto. But it's well wide of the posts. Well, before Sewards dispossessed Rankin, who is bombing up the line now in a foot race with Taranto. She got there and is fouled as well. So it's Preston this time who'll have a set-piece opportunity. Of course, Rankin filling the shoes in many ways of Caitlin Sorby, who played 8 times for Preston last season. Of course, then went on to play for Melbourne City in the A-League Women's before being signed for an Australian domestic transfer fee by San Diego Wave in the NWSL. Has also made her Matilda's debut, so Rankin will be hoping that Preston can elevate her career in a similar path as that free kick goes all the way through to South Melbourne goalkeeper Esposito. Rankin intercepting, charging forward Rankin. Johnson went to ground, nothing doing though for the referee. Indeed, it's Rapp who's stayed down for South Melbourne. Preston play on though. Ball crossed in. Mikulev is in the way, and this time she boots it out of play so her teammate can get some attention. Of course, referee not obligated to stop play unless it is a head injury or anything of that nature. You can imagine Preston will sportingly give it back. Some teammates not quite on the same page, but we got there in the end, and South Melbourne will restart from goals. Ayamano. Couldn't find the feed of Clage, who's been busy up top for South. Probably looked their most threatening outlet in the first 36 minutes or so of this game. Rankin. Here goes Henderson, who was looking for Johnson, who was cut out well. Christensen. Yamano. That ball going astray from Grace Rapp. Check up. Lamont not able to control, but she does get back and win that ball in midfield. Great commitment from Lamont. And then her ball looking for Tanaka, can't find the target. There's a slight delay in play here because Preston Lions coach Dan Foden is very unhappy with something that's going on and has received a yellow card as a result. The referee's very entitled to make sure there isn't too much stick coming from the bench. Play does continue. Preston winning the ball back through Feeks. Johnson into the middle for Henderson. Mikulev does well to drop deep and win the ball back. You can see here for South when Mikulev does that, it leaves them with only Klajich up top, which means that when they do win the ball back, they're just struggling to spring those counters and make the transitions count. Because it really only is Klajich who's staying up as that 9. Henderson. Preston happy to keep possession. Check up. We'll play it all the way back to Frey Horrison. And they'll start again. Feeks. Check up. Players queuing up for the ball forward. That's a lovely ball over the top for Johnson. Esposito does well to come out and clear. Christensen. Taylor Christensen striding forward on this left-hand side. She'll look to get a ball in or play it back to Rapp, who is waiting. Christensen delivers. Cleared away, but not before. A foul was conceded on Christensen. It was superb work from the former New Zealand under-20 international. She scored 4 goals so far this season, Christensen. Scored 11 last campaign as well. So she is a constant threat for opposition defences to deal with in this competition. Ball delivered at the near post, cleared away. Only as far as Rapp will have another opportunity to deliver. She can keep her footing. She can't. So now it's Preston with numbers streaming forward the home side. Lamont trying to get forward. Nishimura is there. In the end, it was good work by Claridge, who got back and ensured that the attack would go no further. Nishimura. Talevski can't get there ahead of Christensen. Klajich. Great touch from Dragana Klajich. Will look to play Mikulev in behind. But good, solid work at right back from Harrington. Headed on. Tanaka. Can't find a teammate, so it's South who've come away with it. Westland happy to play back. Iamano. Christensen. Iamano. Papatsanis. Taranto. Rapp. Christensen. That's good defending again from Harrington. And an attempt to play it out. They've only managed to play it into Iamano, who delivers a ball. Lovely first touch from Sewards. But Bella Sewards not able to get it past Checker. So South Melbourne will win themselves a corner. It's been a good little period here for South. They've been able to win the ball up high to keep some possession. They've had some opportunities from set pieces as well. This is another incoming. They can get a goal in this period just before half-time. It will do them a world of good. In comes the corner low. It's left and cleared away. A clever little corner routine from the training park by South. Didn't come to fruition that time. Here's a second phase play. We'll deliver it in towards the back post. No one there, though, in a white shirt. So it will be a Preston goal kick. Long ball into midfield. And now it's just launched forward into the path of the Mont. Still on the ball here, searching for options. Looking for that overlapping run. She'll find the run. Iamano getting in to prevent Talevski from winning the ball. No foul either way, says the referee. Harrington with the ball in her hands, looking for options. She finds Tanaka. We'll play it back to Talevski. Now Preston will look to switch play. Emma Checker. Out wide to Rankin. Jamila Rankin looking for a delivery on that left boot. Rankin, cross in. Taranto is there. They've been opponents in the A-League Women's, Taranto and Rankin. Taranto had a season at Adelaide before spending 2022-23 at Canberra United. Didn't see too much game time across those two stints, but would be familiar with Rankin from the times that their teams played Melbourne Victory. That ball sent forward, looking for Tanaka. A heavy touch and a slip at the back has allowed Tanaka to get in behind here. Tanaka shoots! And it flushes past the post. Well, it was unfortunate from the South defence. Almost ending with Tanaka having a clear sight on goal. I believe it was Asia Claridge who was the one who was the victim of that slip. Thankfully for her, the shot was not on target, so it remains only 1-0 to Preston. And that will, in fact, be the half-time score. An intriguing clash here at BT Connor Reserve. Preston came out of the blocks the better team. They were good value for their goal. It was Ellie Lamont who scored it, her fourth of the season. As the half's gone on though, South, they've clawed back some control. particularly on this left-hand side. That combination of Franny Iumano and Taylor Christensen have been creating all sorts of havoc for the Preston defence to have to deal with. Well, a fascinating half of football. Don't go anywhere. Still plenty to come at halftime at BT Connor Reserve. It's Preston Lions 1, South Melbourne 0. Well, hello and welcome back to BT Connor Reserve, where it's the home side, Preston Lions, who currently lead South Melbourne 1-0. It was an Ellie Lamont strike that separates the two sides. A really good goal too, cutting in on her left, from her left to her right, and smashing it into the top of the net. Since that goal, though, it's been a relatively even game. South Melbourne have created plenty of chances on their own, particularly on the left flank. Taylor Christensen, the Kiwi, former under-20 international, has been very, very dangerous on the left-hand side. Juliana Klaic, a constant threat up front with her pressure, as well on the 17-year-old Preston goalkeeper, Charlotte Frey-Horrison. So far, Preston have dealt with everything that's been thrown at them. So we see a half-time substitution. It looks like for Preston. So it'll be Jamila Rankin who's come off the pitch. Molly May Ramsey has come on to replace her. Rankin made such an impact in that first half, one of 3 debutants for the season for Preston. So Mebe Tanaka, Emma Checker, of course, returning for her second season in the competition, and Jamila Rankin, perhaps not quite match fit coming off the A-League women's season. It's South Melbourne who get us back underway. Misha Westland looked like she was going to shoot from halfway there, pulled out at the last minute, and it's Preston who are driving forward again. Lamont, Tanaka, Mebe Tanaka out wide, and a ball delivered by Johnson. Couldn't find the target of Georgia Henderson. So Ramsey will replace Rankin on that left-hand flank. But it was really good signs from Rankin, the one-time Matilda. She'll have a lot to offer Preston this season. Preston playing through the press. Talevski into the middle. Nishimura looking to play the 1-2 with Henderson. But it was well dealt with again by South's defence. Nishimura has gotten past Taranto, but Rapp getting back and making sure to cover. Johnson pressing high, but dealt with well. Looks like there was another substitution at half-time for South Melbourne, because that's number 10, Georgia Candelas, on the pitch. Meanwhile, play continues. Klaic playing it out wide. Cutting inside is Christensen, who delivers just over. Georgia Candelas freshly onto the field of play. Couldn't quite get the connection with the header. That would have been required to steer the ball on goal. Candelas, formerly of Box Hill, the 20-year-old. Fakes. Iamano does well. And now Preston. Again, it's Johnson. Now that ball delivered to no one but Esposito. One of the great strengths of this Preston side is Miri Nishimura, the 24-year-old. Joined the team in 2021. She's always there and thereabouts in midfield. Just good positioning. Manages to find a way onto the ball. Someone who does, though, is Christensen. Taylor Christensen driving into the penalty area. Looks to square it. And wins at the first corner of the half, South Melbourne's way. Iamano will be the one to take the corner. He's been so busy at fullback this evening. An early opportunity for South to equalise and get back in this game. Iamano delivers. Taranto got there and appeals for a handball, waved away by the referee. South Melbourne are furious at the decision. They believe that they should have had a penalty. On first glance, it did look like that was the case. South Melbourne will feel very, very hard done by. It was Grace Taranto at the front post who played it into Johnson, and I'll tell you what, on replay, and you can make your own minds up on the stream, but it certainly did look like Hayley Johnson had an arm outstretched and the ball hit it after coming off Taranto. Well, that could be a huge moment in this game. Here's Lamont playing it forward to Ramsey. Preston pressing high to Naka, getting involved. But South able to negotiate the pressure well. Ramsey forced back, deals with it well. And that one just getting away from Feeks, so South almost having an opportunity to bounce forward, couldn't do so. Well, South, they've won the foul in Preston's half. They're arguing that there should have been a card after that challenge, that Christensen was pulled back. Play continues. Here is a ball delivered in. Hits side netting. So Preston will have a goal kick. Well, in the first half, it was Preston Lions and their coach Dan Foden, who received a yellow card for being unhappy with some of the decisions in the centre of the park, and now South Melbourne's players are ropeable after being denied what they saw as a penalty, and then on that occasion being denied what they saw as an opposition player that should have received a card. Here's a ball for Mikulev, but she was offside, even if she had been able to rein that ball in. Mikulev. Now here's this pressure from Preston. We saw this a lot from South Melbourne on that side in the first half. Now it's South that are playing through it. Suets. Lamont did very well to get back and win the ball, although an errant back pass almost going the way of South. Ray Horrison just got there in time. South, though, still on the ball, delivered by Candilis. Headed away only as far as Westland, who shoots from distance and equalises for South Melbourne. Misha Westland had a go from range. It floated and floated, and there was nothing Ray Horrison could do. It's 1-1 at BT Connor. Well, South Melbourne have come out of the blocks in this second half, the better of the two sides, and that goal, well, it was buying a lottery ticket in some ways from Westland. And fortunately, from her perspective, she won. It was very difficult for the 17-year-old keeper. It just kept floating away from her. She did get a glove on it. She'll be disappointed to not do better. But the South Melbourne midfielder will not care one iota. And suddenly, there is another layer of intrigue to this contest. Here comes Preston looking to get that lead right back. Johnson. Well, it was clever from Esposito. Just wrong footing Johnson in the press. Reminder, of course, Preston Lions undefeated so far this season in the NPL Victoria, but they have never beaten South Melbourne in the 25 years of their women's program. Of course, for many of those years, they were in different divisions. They haven't played each other too often in competitive games, but it's South Melbourne, the team with the weight of history behind them. And they are really making a case for these 3 points in the second half so far. Nice ball through, dealt with by the home side. South still on the ball. Christensen delivering on the left. Taylor Christensen. Well, it's been called a goal kick. Ray Horrison had to be alert. He was firmly struck and looked for just a moment to be heading into the top corner. It is South Melbourne with all of the momentum at the moment. Nice turn from Westland, but now Georgia Henderson. Taranto got there in front of her. Preston searching for that attacking spark that they had in the first half. Nishimura. Now that's a lovely ball from Nishimura. In behind is Preston. Well, the flag was up against Tanaka. She thought she was in. Disappointment from the home crowd. You wonder if that flag had stayed down, that maybe South Melbourne would have found themselves down a player, because there was a tug on the shirt. It may just have been called back for a denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity, but we'll never know. Flag was up. Here they go again, Preston. Clever back heel, searching for Johnson. It's cut out en route. Check up with the throw. Great interception from Lamont. Johnson trying to chase that down. Tanaka is high as well, pressing. Johnson lurking. The ball's come back out now for Preston, and a shot from Tanaka. And what a way to mark her first goal for the Preston Lions. A stunning strike from the edge of the area, and the home side regain their lead. 2-1 at BT Connor. Well, that was stunning from the Japanese national. She has been threatening over the course of this game. South started this half so strongly. They got their goal, they got their equaliser. But Preston, undefeated, top of the league, they've managed to find a way to regain the lead, and it's through their debutant, Meibe Tanaka. She was playing for Keilor Park in the VPL only a couple of weeks ago. Most recently at a professional level, played in Korea. And now she's here playing for Preston in the north of Melbourne, and has started her career with a bang. That's a stunning goal. Well won now by Preston, springing forward. There's a spring in their step after that goal. Here goes Henderson. Georgia Henderson ran out of room. Plenty of white shirts surrounding her. And now South Melbourne in transition. Candilas against Ramsey. Molly May Ramsey gets there first and puts it out of play for a South Melbourne throw. Grace Rapp. Well, it was 3v2 in close quarters, and the red shirts of Preston ended up winning the day. Johnson. Taranto tracking her every move. And Taranto is the player who ends up coming away with it. Glage. Sewards. Bella Sewards unable to connect her pass. And now Lamont is the player in space. She'll look to hit a diagonal, does so. Wonderful touch from Tanaka. Her ball didn't meet the standard set by her close control. Emma Checker will play it to a defensive partner. Now to Levski. And now space created on this right-hand edge. Harrington. It was good work from Iamano to track a move to Levski. All the way back. Well played by Feeks, and a good touch up top. Johnson. Hayley Johnson coming in from that right flank. Does really well to beat her player, but can't beat Westland. Aisha Westland, the goal scorer. Nikolaev. Candilas. Good work by Ramsey to get in front. And that ball from Lamont not hitting its target. Here goes South. Christensen. Good work again on that flank by Harrington. The ball again not hitting its target though. Sewards. Outside of the boot pass. He's perhaps looking for Candilas. Nemecheka, well, her team's in the lead. She's more than happy to sit back and take her time. Experienced pro. Of course, 7-time cap for the Matildas. But this strike from distance challenged Trey Horrison. She met it well, palmed it away. South Melbourne will be rewarded with a throw on that far side. Ball delivered in, but never really having the required direction. Didn't seem to bother Preston too much. Well, it's been an action-packed first 20 minutes or so of this second half. We went into the halftime break. Preston Lions having the 1-goal advantage after a goal to Ellie Lamont. South Melbourne equalised, but then Preston took the lead again. Here's Lamont against Sewards. Sewards used her body very well to prevent the 25-year-old having another sign-on goal. After Lamont's first half goal, it was Misha Westland who equalised for South Melbourne with a long-range effort. Just floated over Ray Horrison. At that point, South Melbourne had all of the momentum, but Preston hit back. A great strike from Mabai Tanaka, making it 2-1 in the home side's favour. Tanaka getting involved there and winning her side a foul. So debut for the club this evening, Tanaka. The goal to go for it. And the goal to go with it, rather. Here you go, Preston with the set piece over the first line of defence, and it's come out for an attempted overhead kick from Eva Harrington, who has never scored for Preston in a competitive game. Checker dealing with the pressure from Rapwell. Clage forced to play back and playing in a deeper role is half Dragana Clage. Checker, calm as always. Fakes, ball forward and flicked on. Looking for Henderson, Georgia Henderson. Well, she got there just about, but Esposito was there first. Great goalkeeping from the 25-year-old to ensure that Henderson wasn't able to get the ball under control. It was still Preston who have the throw, however. Johnson back to Ramsey. Nice little interplay between those two, and Ramsey will have a pop from distance. Well, worth an effort from there. Nishimura, fantastic work from the midfielder to chase that ball down. Lamont fakes. Johnson. Hayley Johnson, how about the ball? Well, didn't quite have the angle, but it was fantastic work from the American to get away from her marker, Taranto, and put the ball in. May Ramsey getting warm applause from the bench after that ball played out off the foot of Georgia Candilis. Throwing up the line, decepted by South. Ramsey gets there though. Physical battle in midfield. Rapp is the one who comes away with it. Sewards goes to ground, and South Melbourne have a free kick in another dangerous position. It'll be the former Stud de Rems player, Grace Rapp, will stand over it. She'll play a clever one down the line, looking for Sewards. Lamont, though, superb use of the body. Ray Horrison, goal kick into the mix-up. Johnson, her touch, trying to get away from the attentions of Clage. Checker. Ramsey. Nishimura now can find some space to run up the line. Ramsey, overlapping run. Taranto gets there first. A great touch from Candilis, who's away here up this right flank for South. Just being tracked by Nishimura. Westland delivering into a dangerous area. And it's dealt with so well by Tanaka, and now Preston attempting to spring the counter. Henderson getting involved. Nishimura launches it in the vague direction of Johnson. A combination of Taranto and Esposito able to clear. And Johnson giving away the foul as she attempted to come back and win the ball back. Westland. Candilis loses out. Now Henderson will play it into midfield to Levski. Well, Tanaka, maybe that is a sign that this is her first game, because she just looked to tuck in when perhaps the better option would have been to stay on that last defender and continue to make that run. But it will certainly take some time to learn that connection with her teammates. Johnson, nice touch, back to Tanaka, cut out well by Taranto, but Johnson, their strike deflected away, and Preston will have a corner. A goal for Preston would be huge in the context of this match. And indeed, potentially the context of the season. Still undefeated, of course, 5 wins from 6. 21 goals for, the most in the competition so far before this game, that was. Here's a corner, delivered into a dangerous area, header, and just wide. It was Johnson who leapt up and got connection. But it was just wide of the post. Very, very close to Preston's third. Ramsey. Great ball to find Lamont. Ellie Lamont driving inside. He's got two defenders, goes to ground. Was tackled legally. Although that shirt pull was less legal on Misha Westland, so South will have the free kick. They'll take it quickly. So no advantage really in the end. Johnson made sure that Clage wasn't able to turn into space. Papatsanis, though, able to play it to Clage. She'll receive the ball back. Westland. Taranto. Sewards. That ball again not quite finding the target, although she'll receive it straight back and beats the tackle of two Preston players. Sewards delivers into the middle at touch from Mikulev and eventually cleared away. Johnson dropping deep to win the ball. Now what can Preston produce here? They've got the Lamont all on her own out on this left-hand side. She'll go for the quick diagonal. But again, just not the angle that Johnson needed to get on the end of it. Nice play by South. Here's Sewards. Bella Sewards up against Molly May Ramsey. Sewards wins out, delivers a ball in, and Rapp takes the strike the second time, hitting the crossbar. Here's Christensen. Well, they had two bites of the cherry there, South, and came within centimetres of equalising for a second time. It was great work from Sewards to deliver the ball in. But now South are in trouble. Although they're not, because the offside flag is up. But Hayley Johnson was there. Now we'll see two substitutions for Preston Lions. Is Lani Giudice, who's coming on the pitch. She's replacing Eva Harrington. And then we'll also see Amy Adcock coming on the pitch, and she's replacing the first half goal scorer, Ellie Lamont. Just listening in on Dan Foden. Looks like Amy Adcock will take her place up top alongside Mebe Tanaka. So Hayley and Talevsky 6 was the verbatim quote from Dan Foden. So it looks like Hayley Johnson and El Talevsky be sitting deeper in midfield, perhaps maybe going to a 4-4-2 if there's those two up top, although judging by the eye test, that doesn't look to be the case at all. We'll see how that unfolds as Taranto delivers a wonderful ball over the top, and Christensen's cross back in, couldn't quite find the feet of a teammate. Nice touch from Mikulev, but defended well. Great work there from Feeks to cut out that attack from South Melbourne. Nishimura, can she get there ahead of Sewards, who is down receiving some treatment? It's a great touch. Taranto comes across and stops her in her tracks well, and Sewards is there to track back and play the ball back to her keeper. Nice touch from Clage. Taranto. Oh, and a swing and a miss from Emma Checker has allowed Mikulev time to get in behind. Feeks brings her to ground. Well, she won the ball first, and then after that, Mikulev went to ground. The referee said that it was a fair challenge. Nishimura. Johnson happy to just hold on to the ball, let South Melbourne come and press. Clage has the ball taken away by Tanaka. Tanaka, early ball, looking for the run of the substitute, Amy Adcock, who couldn't quite get there that time. It's a good idea. I think you can see that two up top shape beginning to take hold for Preston. Henderson looks like she's playing as a kind of 10 alongside Nishimura. Here goes Johnson, who's dropped deeper as a 6. Tanaka trying to chase this one down. Being encouraged strongly by her coach to do so. Clage, Christensen. Nishimura intercepts. First time ball over the top for Tanaka. Esposito is there easily. And begin to see more of that, you would imagine, in the last few minutes of this game. Nishimura, great feet. This time finding Tanaka. Tanaka, though, couldn't find the final ball into Henderson. That would have seen her have a clear shot on goal. So it's Candilis. Georgia Candilis striding up this right-hand side. She tried to cut inside, but Johnson was there. So it's, we'll go the early ball in the middle. Candilis, ball across. Back to Candilis. Clage. Turn, and out wide back to Sewards. Nishimura does well again. With every foray, Preston gaining confidence. And time running out for South. Here's the substitute Adcock, who goes for an early shot. Well, she saw Esposito perhaps off her line, but needed to be a little bit higher maybe to catch out the South Melbourne keeper. Nishimura. Oh, beautiful ball from Nishimura into the path of Adcock. Amy Adcock to seal it for Preston. And her shot straight at Esposito. Well, it was a gorgeous through ball from Nishimura. You don't get service much better than that. And Adcock probably had more time than she realised. Could have taken an extra couple of touches, steadied herself. But instead was just a little bit off balance. Didn't hit the shot at all the way she would have liked. Just looking at that replay, she was 5 metres away from a South Melbourne defender. Well, we'll see another 2 substitutions for Preston now. So Dakota Tyson is one of the players coming on, as is Ellie Vlamink. The players coming off. The second half goal scorer for Preston, Mebe Tanaka. And also, by the looks of it, Miri Nishimura as well. So it'll be interesting to see if that facilitates another change in formation. But here goes one of those substitutes straight away. Ellie Vlamic, fresh off the bench. She's striding into space. She's claiming that it's a corner, and indeed, that is what the referee has ruled. Well, instant impact from Vlamic. She scored 2 goals last week in their 8-0 thumping of Calder United. 21-year-old, formerly of FE emerging. And she has made an instant impact there. So a corner now for Preston, an opportunity to seal the game. In swinging, headed by Johnson. And again, well dealt with by Esposito. She had to be sharp. Now here goes South. Preston do have numbers back. Westland. Mikolev. Sewards. Misha Westland, the scorer of South Melbourne's goal, will look to whip in a ball, headed away. And Johnson just sends it as far as it will go off the pitch. Anywhere will do at this stage. You can't imagine there's going to be too much stoppage time either. Oh, ball through Candilis. Dealt with really well though by Preston. Ball over the top, looking for Adcock. Papatsanis is able to get it up the pitch for South, and now numbers breaking forward here for South Melbourne. A shot from the edge of the area, palmed away, deflected, and cleared from the goal line. South Melbourne are knocking on the door here. It was Grace Taranto, I believe, who had that shot, who's come up from defence for these last moments. It was a good strike too. Trey Horrison could only palm it away. But Mikolev not able to tuck away the rebound. So now, here come Preston, Henderson, Vlaminck getting around her player. She'll whip in a ball towards the back stick. Well, we'll see South Melbourne begin to leave plenty of room in behind their defence as they search for this equaliser. But by the same token, you'd imagine Preston will be focused on holding them out. That ball from Taranto blocked away by Dakota Tyson. Another ball across, Candilis. Vlaminck does very well to get a foot in, although South are the team who come away with it. Candilis, well, that was ambitious from the 20-year-old. Not sure whether that was a shot or a cross. Either way, ineffective. Well, Ray Horrison will be looking to soak up every second that she possibly can here before she launches the goal kick forward. Johnson wins the header. Such a strong aerial target is Hayley Johnson. Vlaminck, her ball not able to get through, but intercepted instead by a Preston teammate. Now that ball Over the top was looking for Taranto, didn't find her. Ray Horrison is hitting it as high as she can get. Johnson heading it onwards. That pass has gone astray though, so it gives Mikulev an opportunity to chase one down. Checker shields it well. Just awaiting what the fourth official will say as to how much stoppage time remains, how much time there is for South Melbourne to get an equaliser, to keep that record of having never been defeated by the Preston Lions in the women's game. Candilis cutting inside. 3 minutes of stoppage time, so 3 more minutes for South Melbourne to get on the board for a second time. Sewards delivering a ball in. Ray Horrison alert to the danger. Ray Horrison as far as she can kick the ball. Again, always looking for Johnson. This time he's more than happy to hit it down the line. Esposito switching play. Iamano. Franny Iamano taking off. Still going. Iamano, she'll hit it centrally for Mikulev. We'll play a back out wide. Christensen. Taylor Christensen's delivery. Ray Horrison is there. The 17-year-old leaning into the dark arts, falling onto the ball, taking every second she can. And here she goes, launching it forward. Adcock, a good touch. Talevsky forward. Preston will just try and keep the ball. No need to do anything too silly with it. When it looked like they would lose it, Lani Giudice has just hit it into the corner. Oh, intercepted by Talevsky, who'll shoot from distance. And, well, a glove from Esposito saved her there because she was well and truly off her line. Managed to get something on it. And it palmed agonizingly slow, just wide of the post. That's good work from El Talevsky, the 22-year-old. She scored last week as well for Preston, one of their host of goal scorers, the former Western United train-on. I think it was going on target. Had Esposito not gotten that glove on it as well. Well, you'd imagine they'll go for the short corner here. Just try and tick down as many seconds as they can. Talevsky is right there waiting, as is Klajic, waiting to pressure. She's furious at the referee. And there will in fact be a yellow card produced for time wasting, it looks like. So Klajic got her wish. Let's see this corner now. It'll be delivered conventionally. Westland, though, is there to clear away. And South hitting it forward as quickly as possible. Feeks. Now Preston keeping the ball on that far side. There'll be a shot from distance. Maybe not the best decision under these circumstances. Esposito has the ball in her hands. It's well won in midfield by Tyson. The crowd beginning to get the whistles out, hoping that the referee calls for full time. Feeks hooks it away. Amy Adcock will drop deep and challenge. Diagonal forward. And it's history. Preston Lions have defeated South Melbourne for the first time in their 25-year history of their women's program. They remain at top of the table, undefeated. And after the game today, you can see why a quality performance. Goals in the first half, one to Ellie Lamont to get them started. There was an equaliser for South Melbourne, Misha Westland from distance, but then a stunning goal from Mebe Tanaka on her Preston Lions debut was the difference between the two sides. Thank you so much for joining us this evening at BT Connor Reserve. My name is Tyron Heddo. It's been a pleasure having your company. And until next time, farewell. It's Preston Lions 2, South Melbourne 1.